If you're married or not married, you have kids or don't have kids, but you desire to have this deep bond with your spouse or with your family, or you desire to be really connected with your family, you want to share beautiful bond, a stronger bond, and beautiful memories that will last a long time. You really want this marriage to work, and you want to have this deep bonding with your spouse or with your family, then today's video is definitely for you. We'll be sharing tips today on how to hold or to create those deep bonds that will harness your family traditions and help you to have a stronger relationship or a stronger connection with your family. So keep watching. In today's video, we'll be talking about family traditions. Now, what are family traditions? Whether you know it or don't know it, whether you accept it or you don't accept it, you are definitely practicing one tradition or the other. Tradition is how we do things. It's the way we do things. So would you rather just live life or just have a family and just unconsciously do what you like? Or you really want to consciously build traditions that will foster connection and love in your family? Then let's get together and do this. So why are family traditions important? Why does it matter? Family traditions gives your family a sense of identity, a sense of belonging, a sense of connection, this sense of continuity. How do you do things? If you're not around today, or let's say you traveled out of town, does your spouse, will they be able to do things the way you would do it as a family, even when you're not around? Or let's say your kids go somewhere, would they be able to say, this is how we do things, or this is why we do what we do, or we just do it? Sometimes I have to remind the kids, especially if you're like me, staying in a foreign land, not in the land of your birth, or not in the country of your birth. I have to ask them, why do we do this again? And if they don't have an answer to it, then I know I have to do something there. Why do we do this? Or why can't you do this the way this person is doing it? So those traditions make you stand out as a family. Are we on the same page? Okay, let's go ahead. So how do we go about setting family traditions? First of all, evaluate your current traditions. Are these traditions still meaningful? Are they going out of time? Are the kids going older? Are they still meaningful? Why are we doing it? Is it still relevant to our present family structure, to our present family style, or to our present lifestyle, or to our present reality? So why are we practicing this tradition? So you need to evaluate, why are we doing what we do? How do we do this? How do we live our life as a family of two, or as a family of just you and your spouse? What makes us special? What's different from our family with the other families? What is special about you? So you want to sit down and evaluate that tradition and say, okay, does this stay? Does this go? What stays? Secondly, create new traditions. What are those new traditions you want to create? It might just be something that you want to stay, as simple as a daily prayer with your kids or a daily prayer with your spouse before you set out for the day or before you close the day. That is a tradition to uphold. Or what do you think? It might be a day out. Now, one family tradition or a bonding tool that really helped us last year, we introduced it last year, was a day out with our kids. Now, we set out a day to say, okay, this is not going to be a family outing day. We're not just going to eat. It's going to be a special day where daddy goes out with son, or daddy goes out with daughter, and mother goes out with daughter, or mother goes out with son. So we planned this such that one of our child goes out with each of or either of us on a solo date once in a month. So you don't have to have money, so much money to do this. It could just be on a stroll. One of them was, okay, I was going to go out for a publicity. I belong to a worship group, so we're going to go out on a publicity, and I just told my son, wow, it's mommy's day out with you. Now let's go on a date. We're going for this. And after you follow me to this publicity, and they're excited to just go out with you. And during that date, you make it special. At every time of the date or going out, you talk to them. Oh, yes, are you enjoying this? What do you like about this? Pick their brain, talk about things, ask them, what would you want mommy to do better? Or what would you want daddy to do better? Or how would you want, are there things? I know kids can be very interesting. They can go ahead and, make, silly demands, but that's the best time to nip those demands and let them know why they can't have that at that time of their life, or why not, what not, or why not. So it just creates this deep bonding and deep connection. We're able to do it for a few times. So I went out with my daughter on a month, and my husband went out with my son, and then we swapped it. So that's about, 4 months in the year, and then just roll it out. Or just take a stroll. It's more like it fostered this deep connection. At the end of the year, when we were going back to say, oh, what were those things you enjoyed this year? Guess what? They mentioned, oh, we loved the solo dates. And that means we have to continue it. But that is one family bonding tool. Why am I saying bonding tool that worked for us last year, and I hope we're going to continue it. Another bonding tool that we used last year was having a special breakfast outing. Now that was higher for us because we weren't doing it before. We said we should try it. Sadly, we were only able to do it, I think, once or twice, but we just booked a Saturday and said, booked a restaurant and said, it's not going to be breakfast at home. It's going to be breakfast out. And we had a full breakfast with the family. I'll look for the video. I think I filmed it or filmed some sessions of it, even if I couldn't do the English breakfast. But it was nice. It was different. It felt like we were really wanting to do this. It felt like we were really deliberately creating time. And trust me, the time might not always be there. Trust me, if you don't create time will not create itself. So you need to put these traditions in place to help you to stick with creating time for family and for creating time in your marriage. Next, involve everyone. Let everyone have a sense of ownership. Now, when you bring out an idea and say, let's try this as a family tradition, or let's try this as something we'll do regularly, let everyone own it. Hear from everyone. Involve the kids. Involve your spouse. Don't let it be a sole decision that you just come back and say, this is what we're going to be doing. I want us to do this. Give the benefit. Why would you want us to do this? Are you guys interested? What do you think? Sometimes you even need to get these ideas from them. Yes. Call the kids or call your spouse and say, I'm thinking we should start doing this. My husband came up and said, let's start doing Bible study with the children, like a special Bible study, not the regular everyday devotion that you have to, read the Bible as a family. We're Christians, so that's why I'm making use of this example. So not the everyday devotion or everyday Bible reading, a special family Bible study. Now that was a tall order for me. So it was a tall one. I'm still struggling with creating that time, but the few times we had it in the year was beautiful. The kids were involved. You need to see them saying what they learned about a Bible scripture, we just read, creating that time for everyone to be on the same space or the same place at a time, and, pause out on every activity and say, let's do this. It's what I'm still struggling with. But a few times I have started practicing it. it's been working. So what is that one tradition you want to, or that has been helping you as a family, or you want to start with your family? It could even be a family meal. Set out a day to say, oh, everybody's going to get their hands dirty. Everybody's going to get their hands dirty. Or let's just make salad together. Let's make food together. What is so special that you don't want to involve, get yourself dirty with those kids and do? It comes for some people easily. It comes for some people like more easy than others. But for other people, it's not easy, but it's definitely worth the effort. Now, last tip is stay consistent. Stay consistent. Now, that's one I am still struggling with. Like I said at the beginning of this video, it's not that I have everything working. I just come to share, what are the few things that are working, and then throw the challenge and say, oh, how can you help? Or you just put something in the comments and say, oh, this is what has worked for me, and I might want to try it, and it's been working. So let's put heads together. Like I said, staying consistent is the head to the game. Consistency makes an activity a tradition. It builds an activity into a tradition. So when you keep doing it, I think the deal is in staying consistent. Make that commitment and stick to it and say, oh, this is one thing I want us to be doing as a family. Decide, involve everyone, create a new tradition, involve everyone, and stay consistent at it. Life gets busy, yes. Life happens, I know, but be flexible. When one way didn't work, don't just dispose the idea and say, oh, this thing is not for my family, or I'm not that kind of a person. No matter how serious you are, if you are conscious enough to make that decision and say, I want to start a family, or I want to get into a relationship and get married, then you should be able to decide and say, I want to do what it takes to keep this marriage. And your marriage is worth fighting for. Your marriage is worth making beautiful. It is not different from the beautiful ones. You can do it. You have all the power to make it work. So what are your family traditions, or what new family traditions would you be making? Share it with me. If you want me to share more ideas on building family bond, or things that I've tried, or those that I plan to try on, building connection and bonding as a family, just type the word on the comments next, and that will inspire me to come up with maybe another part of this video to share more bonding tips. Remember, never begin a race without setting a goalpost. Marriage is a race. Marriage is a journey. Are you in that journey, or are you in that race without having goals? I want you to sit down with your spouse and say, what are our goals for our marriage? If it's a new year you're watching this video, what goals do we hope to accomplish or better our marriage this year? If you're interested in setting those smart goals as a couple and seeing it come to pass, then watch this next video and I'll catch you there.